Uh-oh, dude. It's begun.
Oh, we started?
Why not, dude? We're in the heat of it now. That's how we do it, man. Look, we don't have producers off in the wings giving us a little countdown. There's no red light.
Wow, dude.
Signaling. We just get thrown into the heat of the moment. Are we inspired to do a swapcast? Is it a hang? We don't know anymore.
We don't know, dude. Yeah, welcome to the swapcast.
Nice.
Swapcast. The Buff Boys meet What About Rob?
Rob.
What
Yeah.
about the Buff Boys?
What about boys?
Yeah, what about boys?
What a buff boys?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
Buff Boys? Perfect, dude. I love it when we decide the title of the podcast 3 seconds into the beginning.
Yeah, when it's
I like
up.
it. I like it better when we get to the end and we can't think of a name, so we just think of something we said in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I love writing. I just gave up on writing podcast descriptions. I'm like, I don't remember a fucking thing I ever say.
Like, who pays attention? Like, who's the deciding factor in that? That's awesome, man. He's a fan of you.
I
bud.
know. I was like,
Thank God the cat's not coming near me during this podcast.
for the audio listeners, the cat, especially the girl audio listeners,
Especially.
the cat wants me to pet her so much, keep
Yes.
petting her so much.
Yeah.
That she
Him.
jumped up.
You misgendered the cat, Robbie.
I did.
Yeah.
I feel like all cats are naturally feminine and all dogs are naturally masculine.
I think that's so true.
That's just like a thing. We're like
Female dogs are more masculine than male cats.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why calling a woman a bitch is like so unsettling because it's like that's technically something that sort of doesn't exist.
right.
Yeah.
But if you call a woman a pussy,
pussy, there
it's
you
like,
go.
now that's hot.
Yeah.
She's
That's what I'm
like,
talking
come
about.
lick it.
That's why calling a guy a pussy is such a huge deal.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
huh? Calling a girl a bitch is so
Yeah.
awful, and calling a guy a pussy is
Yeah. Although actually calling a guy a bitch is a big deal too. Draymond Green, Kevin Durant.
That's
That's
true.
what broke up the Warriors.
Yep. They got some. They got. It's so funny how gossipy basketball is sometimes.
so
And
fun.
people like analyze that bench like the Zapruder tape.
Yeah, they're like
Careful.
looking and doing some lip reading, being like, "What did he say that got Kevin Durant so upset?"
I know.
Cur-
Did you hear what Kevin said to Draymond? Yeah.
Careful, Robbie. Last
What?
time you talked about sports on a podcast, one of the co-hosts on that podcast was accused of rape.
Oh,
Let's not get carried away here. Matt's on thin ice as it is, dude.
Oh my God.
The Goodwin chuckle of death.
Oh jeez, I forgot. I already forgot about that.
You've had such a busy week,
I had
man.
such an incredible week, and then I lie around today. I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life?
yeah.
Yeah, it was what a whirlwind.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
I was just on this Amazon. Should we talk about? I was just on this
Did
Amazon.
you sign an NDA?
I guess I didn't.
Well, then talk about it, baby.
Well, I did this Amazon Prime sports show.
Yeah. It's a fun show. I've
On
done
Wednesday.
It,
I
I've
know.
done it I've done it a few
It
times.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm friendly with both the hosts. I'm not like super close with either. And then on Friday, 2 episodes later,
Yeah.
one of them Me Too's the other one.
Yeah.
And what's up? And I thought it was like it's very appropriate for sports because I got in on the buzzer beater. If you know what I
There
mean.
you
You
go.
know, I got a 3 in with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, Robbie's been
Amazon
getting into
Prime
sports.
credit.
He's starting to be able to get the references now. He knows the terms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Just right when you. That's a great credit, man.
Yeah, one of the last guests before Me Too.
Yeah.
It's like one of the comics that they had their last set on the one of the last
Yeah.
comics to perform on the Tonight
So
Show.
true. What an honor.
That was like kind of like the thing where it was like, ooh, I got it in right. I still got that credit
Right.
before it's too late.
Right. And
Because now like it's like late night credits are fucking done, dude.
yeah, huh?
Like some people might have done like
it's all about New York Times credits now.
Yeah. I was all right. The bingo on things Matt brings up. New York Times.
We got brain surgery and wrestling on the
Wrestling.
soundboard.
But it's crazy, like those milestones that we used to consider success. A Comedy Central presents,
Yeah.
a late night TV show appearance,
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe like a television credit here or there, and now like it's just different,
Yeah.
Like Comedy Central is not even really a thing anymore.
Yeah. All comedy. I was wondering this because there was some like industry people I was talking to. I was like, what is Comedy Central now?
Yeah.
Right.
And they kind of just threw a bunch of jargon at me, and I was like, I don't really understand that. And they were like, we
Yeah.
don't really either. That's just what they told. Nobody
It's
really
an
knows.
algorithm. It's
Yeah.
a vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like
It's a vibe.
I feel like
Comedy
it's-
Central's a vibe now.
yeah. It's more about it's more of an essence than a network.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's just like a cubicle now at like
It's
at
kind of a thing.
CBS.
It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Remember, for like a few years, every comic would just say it's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
During
So
every-
that's a thing.
So
Well,
that's
they
the thing.
were.
Yeah.
Everyone would say like, "Oh, I have a Comedy Central credit," but it was like Comedy Central Digital,
Yeah.
and that was kind of like the beginning of the
Yeah.
end.
But
And
now that's all there is. All it is their digital.
well, it's interesting.
Yeah.
They have I think it's on Hulu. They have all the old Comedy Central presents.
Yeah.
And you can look through them.
Take it easy, man. Jesus
Like
Christ.
the burp boys.
Sorry,
yeah.
Jesus.
Just finished a Bang energy drink here.
Yeah, we're a fitness podcast.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fucking burping trying to explain Comedy Central.
So here's the thing.
Yeah. Well, Bang Energy is the one that all the fitness influencers on TikTok advertise. So it's the one that I think is probably the most healthy based on that and that alone.
I'm
A
more
true
of a
hit
pro-
litmus test.
I'm more of a Prime guy, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
Low Gang.
But yeah, the you'll look through the names, and a lot of them are famous, but so many of them I don't hear of at all anymore.
Well, you might see him do a spot at the Grizzly Pear.
Yeah,
or
or you'll see
you know,
him at
comic
a
strip.
lineup at the comic strip, and it's
Yeah.
whoa, that person
Oh yeah.
was right next to Lewis Black
Yeah.
at one
Well,
point.
and you can see you can tell because their headshots are from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's them with their hairline is 3 inches deeper.
Dane
Yeah.
Cook hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's wearing a leather jacket with a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
or
you
they
know.
would do the T-shirt with the long sleeve shirt underneath.
Oh
That was
yeah,
big.
dude, that's
Yeah.
a fun.
Yeah, I
that's a
did
good style to
I did
rock.
a show at Skankfest with Tom Rhodes, and his headshot, he looks so different. Than
Oh, it's
in
insane how
person.
Tom Rhodes is such a fucking cool guy.
He was really nice.
I
yeah.
love Tom Rhodes. I
Yeah.
loved working with him in San Francisco.
Yeah.
He would always just kind of.
Yeah.
He didn't drink, so he would just kind of smoke, and he would have a cigar after the show. He's like, I just like to hang, man.
Nah, yeah, he was really straight. He's like, "Hey, nice impressions, man." I was
Yeah,
like,
he's
"Thank
such
you,
he's
Tom."
such a
Yeah.
positive, cool guy, and you could tell part of what makes him such a good comic is he's had all these life experiences. There was a while where he put all of his worldly possessions in storage and just traveled the world
Oh,
for 5 consecutive years, just
Yeah,
doing tours and
you can
shit.
tell he was friends with Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, he's just such a chill, fucking laid back guy. He's
But
awesome.
his headshot was, I mean, because I saw his headshot.
Yeah.
And because I was hosting the show and I had to find him. And I was like, I literally had no idea that was
Right.
Tom Rhodes.
Yeah.
So here's the funny part of the story also.
Yeah.
Was I did that Instagram post on the Amazon Prime thing.
Yeah.
And I used the guy who got Me Too'd selfie. So his face is right front and center.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I got 3 phone calls about it. It was I got Me
Nice.
Too'd.
Yeah.
You're a guy who might have done something.
Well, it's because I think if you follow the guy who got Me Too'd and my post, the algorithm put them both, because mine got a lot of engagement too.
Nice.
The algorithm put them back to back, I think someone told me. And so, I don't want to weigh in. I don't really know anything.
Yeah,
it's just funny how I got my luck is so
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That
I
my
was on the show a week before you for the last. I did it a couple times, and so I'm friendly with both of them. I'm not super close with either of them. So yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on it either way. But the last time I did the show, it was interesting. I had heard about it before the Instagram post.
yeah.
So I knew there was something going on. And so when I went in, I was just talking to them the way I had every other time I'd done the show. It was like I was talking to them individually while they were together.
Yeah.
It was interesting where it was hey, good to see you. And the other, yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
But it was coming from two, it wasn't the two of them together talking to me.
Yeah.
I got that feeling. And that was a little bit strange.
In fact, if you look at my post, you can see Etan's a little uncomfortable. He looks. Which I didn't track until I went back.
Yeah.
Etan looks a little uncomfy to be there.
Yeah.
And he took a picture of us together, and I didn't realize Drex wasn't in there, but he pokes his head in. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why wasn't Drex in that one?
yeah, he did something non-consensual.
Oh,
Matt.
that's up for the courts,
Yes.
not the court of public opinion.
I actually don't even think that's what it was from what
I
I
actually
heard.
still have no idea what it is.
Well,
Yeah.
the court of public opinion is pretty backed up. There's shit going on all over the place, man.
yeah.
Israel-Palestine, everyone's getting in trouble for that, dude.
What happened?
Just weighing in on shit.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Amy Schumer, huh?
Dude, she went fucking I thought she was insane because her idiot Uncle Chuck was trying to literally take away
Yeah.
our right to have a gun. And now look, I bet you wish you had some fucking guns now on the Gaza Strip, huh?
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
How about some
I
of
don't
those?
think the problem is that Israel doesn't have enough guns on the Gaza Strip, Joe.
No, but Hamas needed guns.
Yeah.
Now this is a pro-Hamas podcast, first and foremost.
I like Bill Hamar, sir.
Bill Hamar.
New rule.
Hamar.
New rule. If you read the Quran, you're gonna have to kill a Jewish child.
I like garlic Hamas. I like Hamas with a little bit of olives in it. Man, you put Hamas on some pita bread, a couple slices of ham, a little cheese, brother. You got yourself a meal.
Larry the Hamas guy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Now you're saying Israel, Palestine. You're saying they said free Palestine. I said I'll take 2. Damn, actually, this is kind of right, and it's my career accelerates.
Yeah.
There's a think piece about how I'm not really a fucking Palestine guy.
Yeah. This guy actually hates both races.
Joe thinks there's a lot of bad people on both sides.
It is funny how many alt-right guys are like on the fence. You know, they're like
Yeah.
they're centrist for once. They're like, I don't know. You know,
It's literally like that button of the guy sweating because he doesn't know which one to push.
Right.
That's anybody who's like super political, whether you're super alt-right or super left and woke, you have no idea what to do in this situation.
No, the super left are all in on Palestine.
Yeah.
I think.
But I mean, like, some of the like celebrity liberals, like the Amy Schumers and Sarah Silvermans, they like. There's a lot of them that are. There's a lot of people. I mean, in comedy,
those they call those like the Hillary like.
Yeah, there's a lot of like.
I would say the super leftists who aren't Jewish, because I do know some leftists who are Jews who like Israel.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
But the non-Jewish leftists that I know, including some Jews, are all. It's definitely a Palestine thing.
Yeah,
I think it depends on how good your bar mitzvah was.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
where you stand on the whole thing.
my bar
It
mitzvah
is funny
was,
the
my bar mitzvah was fun, but it wasn't like. The rich parents had those kids had the fun bar mitzvahs.
Right.
Mine was fun, but it was like not like a big deal.
Yeah.
It was fun because it was like fun people.
Can
Right,
you actually
right.
like recite all the stuff you were supposed to memorize?
There's like the
Baruch
one
atah.
there's the one main prayer that I still have memorized because it's the same thing everyone said. Baruch hu Adonai Hamarach, Baruch hu Adonai Hamarach, Baruch Adonai Hamarach.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Baruch Adonai.
Hebrew and Matt's speech impediment. That sounds like nonsense.
He's speaking in tongues.
You sounded like the teacher in Charlie Brown.
I remember a couple. I remember my you get to pick your Torah portion that you read.
Nice.
And they give you like different options of different stories from the Bible to tell based on like the week the bar mitzvah is. You get 3 choices. And I picked the one where Abraham brings Isaac up to the mountain to sacrifice him for God. But he also brought a donkey with him. So it meant when I translated, I was going to get to say the word ass in front of all of my friends. At 13, that was a big deal.
Yeah, I remember that was cool when it was like Jesus rode in on his ass.
Yeah.
that was
You could always
sick.
say ass. You could say whore.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get a pass with a couple of.
Yeah, I remember saying
biblical.
ass and then pausing for a second to look at my friends and then keep going. I got a laugh out of it. I was
Yeah.
like, hell yeah.
That means your fucking bar mitzvah doesn't count then.
Yeah.
It's a somber. It's a somber event.
Yeah. You like. All right, I'm on a roll, and you just start saying like slurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Start roasting fucking members of your immediate family. Nice little hat.
Yeah.
You Jewish piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so some of the kids who like had rich parents, they would like you'd do the service in the temple, and then you'd go off site to some like ballroom or whatever.
Nice.
The kids.
Where'd you
without,
go? Backyard?
No, we just did the downstairs ballroom in the temple. That's what the
Ha-ha.
kids who didn't have rich parents
Oh
did.
yeah.
Gross, dude. I wouldn't have gone.
There's a ballroom blitz.
Yes, it was a ballroom blitz.
Ballroom
You
blitz.
play spin the bottle or some shit?
No, we
Oh
actually.
yeah, you get a blowjob.
No,
Yeah.
I did
What's
not.
with the Jews are great with blowjob milestones.
Jewish
like
women,
birthright
yeah.
and
Yeah.
bar mitzvah. I didn't get any of that.
It's a cultural thing.
yeah.
Well, birthright.
They get their women fucking early.
Most of the time you're on birthright.
It really is the religion of Woody Allen.
Trap them early, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Then this is where we're gonna get blown. Okay, everybody. Let's agree.
You got to pick your music for the bar mitzvah for the after party.
Mm.
Back, I guess this is aging me now. It was CDs still. You got to pick your
So-
mix CD to give out to everybody.
Oh,
So
man.
that's it's resolved. Everyone that got fucked on their bar mitzvah, they're pro-Israel.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Take that
out.
to the bank.
They get indoctrined early on because they associate these like, oh, taking pride in Jewish, I can come.
Yeah.
Every time I'm proud to be Jewish, I come. And now they're like attacking these poor innocent people in Gaza.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can come because I'm an evil Jew. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, dude.
That's
Again, this
that's
is
a quote from
yeah.
Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
this is the Buff Boys podcast. We are an anti-Israel, pro-Palestine podcast. We support Hamas and all of their actions.
No one says we support Hamas.
No one except the Buff Boys.
Dude, they gotta sponsor us, dude.
Yeah.
Use code
Buff-
word infidel.
Me and
Buff
Joe could
boys.
pass as
Yeah.
a fucking Israeli man.
Yeah, we're the fucking.
We're brothers who own a shawarma place.
Yeah, we're easygoing Palestine.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Palestine.
We're Palestine felled.
Yeah.
There,
Um,
Steinfeld.
Yeah, I've been doing that in John Moskowitz, and I
Yeah.
think that'll bring everyone together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. It's a It's a seasonal dry spell. We have Veterans Day, and then it's like
yeah.
nothing until
We got
Thanksgiving.
Election Day.
I love it.
coming
No,
up.
dude, it's cozy season.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's
We're definitely
in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're definitely in like the
This might be my favorite part of the year.
Yeah, the
actually.
cold. I like it
I'm a-
before it gets. I like it when it's like chilly and you need a jacket, but it's not
Yeah.
so cold that it's snowing and you don't even feel justified in leaving because that cold wind on winter, that's brutal.
It's the
wind
worst.
is
Yeah,
rough.
this
Yeah.
I love the crisp.
yeah.
I was just walking around the West Village today. The vibes were immaculate. I went to the friend's apartment, paid my
Nice.
tributes.
yeah.
Dude, it was a scene over there. Dude.
Could I
Yeah.
be any more dead?
Could I? Could I
He
be
died
anymore?
in a hot tub though. That's the way to go.
I know, man.
Yeah.
At least he died. He died comfortable.
He did. Yeah, he did.
You know, what are the best ways to die? Getting laid
Uh huh.
in a hot tub.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Probably on
waterbed.
pills, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Drug overdose might be nice.
I'm gonna have a wild card: swimming with dolphins
Oh.
How
Well, that's
cool is
swimming
that?
with dolphins in a hot tub.
in a
What
hot
about
tub.
swimming with Dalton?
Whoa. Hey, will you rub my feet? You kill yourself to get out of it.
But yeah, the Matthew Perry too. I got a little emotional, even though I'm not a big
there
Friends
were a
fan.
bunch of people
There
there.
were so many
It's
people.
like a vigil.
There's a it was like strawberry fields on steroids. There were
Yeah.
like
Well,
so many flowers.
He was such a young guy.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at, you know, the Friends cast, and like they're older now. you know?
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of puts like our own mortality into perspective.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think like one of the friends are dead. That's just like crazy.
You look at him as like this cool older cousin or something.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
cool
Yeah.
cousin Chandler who lives in New York and hangs
Mhm.
out with all of his friends.
That show did make a lot of people move to New York.
Well, it's like it gave you like an ideal version of New York, like no black people.
Yeah,
You can,
big, lot of space.
yeah, you can like just chill. Like you literally always have a seat at a coffee shop if you want it.
Yeah, the exact same seat every single time. You and your friends
It really
all
is.
can afford the same apartment next to each other.
It's a very hack criticism. When I watch it, especially now that I've lived here, and I'm like, I cannot believe how much space.
Oh, it's insane.
They think New Yorkers have, but nobody lived in New York back then. So
Yeah, it was like like 90s New York was different because you could
Yeah.
also just be like, oh yeah, the apartments are huge, but
Yeah.
they're not really huge. But
Right,
it's all
right,
just word
right.
of mouth.
well, it was just because it was shot in LA on a set, but
Right.
also so it was funny because like a bunch of flowers, a lot of like, first of all, obviously Friends is for girls. So
Yeah.
there was just like a lot of long, very well, nicely written letters and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was very sweet. But then there was a couple that was just like someone just put Chandler's face on a watermelon. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Hell yeah, dude.
I was like, first of all, what the fuck? Second of all, that took a lot of time.
That must have been from his the whole 9 Yards fan base.
Yeah.
yeah,
right
yeah,
there,
yeah,
some shit
yeah.
like
Could
that.
I be any more of a gourd?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because Jennifer Aniston was the only one who really like came out and became like an A-list celebrity.
Oh yeah.
Like in terms,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say like and then what's his
Courtney
name?
Cox was in a few things.
She was in a few things, but she never really broke out. Like
Didn't-
she's still
not the same
associated
way
with
as
like
Jennifer
They actually had a
Aniston,
better
yeah.
post Friends cast than Seinfeld.
they've all done like a little bit better. Like they've all had
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Matt LeBlanc had Joey.
Yeah,
Well-
David Schwimmer had the OJ show. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
He
had-
was like the closest
Juice?
to being like a breakout star for a second.
Yeah.
That was like my favorite. Juice?
Juice?
What's
No.
going on?
No, juice.
They just totally made it seem like Robert Kardashian was
Yeah,
just a cuck like his entire life.
Well, he was just so in denial. He was
Yeah.
like, "What? No, not OJ."
What? He knew what he was doing.
I love Travolta in that too. Just like,
Yeah, there was actually probably the biggest stars to come out of Friends were like people who were like Paul Rudd was like a boyfriend for a
oh
few
yeah,
episodes.
oh yeah, that's right. Well,
those
that's
are
just-
like the biggest breakout stars, the people who had appearances on Friends.
right because they're
more
just
than-
like young actors.
Yeah.
And then that was like a good break.
On the up
Yeah.
and up.
All right,
I mean, I'm sure like how many fucking like celebrities dated like Chandler or Ross or Joey.
Oh,
at one
yeah.
point,
Yeah.
You know, you forget who, and then it's like Emily Deschanel was in fucking this episode.
Some of them
and
were.
that.
Tom Selleck dated Courtney Cox in a few episodes of Friends.
Yeah, he
Courtney
dated her
Cox was hot back
in the
day.
before
Yeah.
she got all the plastic surgery.
Yeah, they all kind of got plastic.
They all
surgery.
got-
Although
well-
she was very hot as Adam Sandler's girlfriend in The Longest Yard.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Facts. She
That was a
was.
good one.
Yeah.
I'd say she was my favorite of the girls.
Lisa Kudrow was like a fucking hottie, but she didn't do any work, and now she's aged gracefully, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
You got to do the Jennifer. You got to do the Jennifer Aniston just enough.
Yeah.
A little nip, a little tuck here over the
True.
decades, sprinkle it in so that way you just like, oh, okay, you look older, but you don't look as old as you should be.
Yeah.
But you clearly got work done, but you didn't get enough work done that
Right.
it's clear you got
What's
work
the
done.
hottest
funny.
role of any of that? Like specifically a role that I think the hottest role with Jennifer Aniston in Horrible Bosses.
Yeah, she's
I
pretty
think
hot in
that's-
that. Where
I
she
think
plays a
that's the-
rapist.
Yeah, I
they
think
really
that's
got that in
hotter.
Under the Wire.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, as a woman, you could still be a rapist. I think.
You can't put that in a major movie though.
Yeah.
What about
Yes.
Courtney Cox in Dancing in the Dark with Bruce Springsteen? Yeah, when
Oh,
he pulls
she's
her
a
up on
little girl?
stage.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's fucking dancing. I can't start a fire without a spark.
I'm fucking a child.
I
Because
like
it's
her-
1980s and it's all right.
How old is 16?
Remember, we're in the state of New Jersey.
That's why I'm not leaving. It's the lowest age of consent in the country.
Bruce 16.
Yeah, Bruce 16.
Nice, man. That rocks, dude.
Yeah.
Bruce
That's good,
Spring's
yeah.
teenagers.
Brooks
How
Brooks
shitty?
Springsteen
Yeah.
and TEEN is capitalized.
Yeah, it's Bruce Springsteen, if you know what I mean.
Damn. How cool is it that like comedians are like modern day rock stars, but we don't get to have that sweet underage puss like
Well,
Led
some do, a
Zeppelin?
lot of
I
them
mean,
do.
a lot of them do. What are you
Uh-oh.
talking about?
That's why Chris D'Elia was the ultimate rock star comedian.
Dane Cook's a rock star comedian.
Yeah,
No,
they both
Dane-
wore leather jackets. They danced a little on stage, and they fucked teens.
Dane Cook just made a brilliant investment.
Yeah.
That's like the investment in grooming was like, man, when it pays off and they get hot at 18,
Yeah,
cha-ching.
cha-ching. Yeah,
You know, but imagine that. Like, I've been grooming this fucking chick
Uh-huh.
for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Then
she hits
gets
puberty.
a thyroid problem.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, she hits the wall at 21. You're like, fuck.
That's like, God damn it.
Oh my game. It's like when you lose at blackjack.
Yeah.
It literally is.
Yeah.
I imagine like Uncut Gems. You're
Yeah.
watching a girl.
I'm gonna put a
age.
parlay on the 14-year-old. Cross it over with middle school.
Yeah. She plays volleyball. It's setting her up for long term goals.
Yeah.
See,
Don't
people
worry,
are-
Kevin Garnett. I'll get one for you too.
Yeah.
People are listening. They're taking notes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Like this is how it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, oh, she's just a friend.
We're an educational podcast.
She's just a friend. I'm I'm tutoring her.
Yeah.
So if we were the friends, who would we be? Who would
I'd be Gunther at the coffee shop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or honestly, let's be real. I'd be fat, ugly, naked guy across the street.
I think I'm kind of a Chandler.
I mean, you look like Ross.
I look like
but,
Ross,
Yeah.
but I'm a Ross Chandler hybrid.
Yeah, that's a good pick for you. Yeah, because you have like.
So that makes you
Chandler's-
Joey. That's
I'm
perfect.
Joey. Yeah, I'm Joey.
The retarded one.
Yeah.
Constantly hitting on women that don't like your advances.
How you doing? You're a rapist.
To the tune of "How you doing?" You know I whistle. All right.
Yeah,
That
dude.
was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, phew.
If
man.
we knew
I'll take
if we knew
Joey.
any women, we would
Yeah.
cast them. But
Yeah.
no girls allowed.
no
dude.
girls allowed.
Yeah.
This is like the Cool Friends reboot.
absolutely.
It's like let's cut out the fat, even though they were all like
yeah.
3% body fat.
Yep.
If you could
Yeah,
stick
Joey was the fat one, and he's like
Joey wasn't that fat. Chandler's weight fluctuated.
Chandler's
Yeah.
weight was like all, but they never addressed it because
Mhm.
like they couldn't bring to attention the fact that he was clearly on opiates.
Yeah. He said he doesn't remember filming like 3 years of it.
That fucking rocks, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Sometimes like shit will show up on my memory on Facebook. And I'm like, I don't remember that shit.
yeah.
that fucking
yeah.
rules.
How many drugs was I on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like whatever. Like who cares?
Yeah. No.
If it was like that memorable, I would have remembered it.
Yeah, that's true. It's just crazy to like because. Sorry, if you don't remember 4 years of yourself on like the thing that defined you to everyone else.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
You remember the first year, you remember the last year, everything
Yeah.
in the middle
Yeah,
is like
well, that's
eh.
that is. I mean, just in our lives, like there's things that you won't remember that for somebody else, that's their one memory of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get that back a lot. People
Yeah.
like bring something up I said and I'll be like, I don't fucking remember that
Yeah.
at all. Yeah. I mean,
And-
my recall is already shit, and then if I've been drinking, it's even worse.
Yeah,
so it's
Total
like-
Recall.
Total Recall, great
Yeah.
movie.
Great movie.
I can't remember anything.
I think Arnold is probably just the most charismatic human alive because somebody who literally can't talk and is gigantic, and we all love everything he does.
Oh, is that what you want to be?
Absolutely. That's
What do
my
you mean?
goal.
Well, that's who I am. I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Oh man! Now that Bobby's gone, now Matt's getting all the heat. I'm sorry, Matt. Oh
There
man!
must always be a sacrifice.
Yes.
Have you guys talked to Bobby? Have you,
No.
Yeah,
we don't
I
know.
just did his podcast last week.
you guys just immediate differing answers.
I docked Matt's pay for that
Yeah.
insubordination.
Yeah. I lost out on some Patreon money for that month on the Buff Boys, but it was worth it to do the Before Hours podcast.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Joe's in charge of the money.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of everything now.
Yeah.
It's just safer that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what my mom used. My mom used to fucking take my candy
Really?
On
after I trick or
Halloween?
treated. Yeah.
My
That
mom would try
bullshit.
to. My mom would try to fucking limit how many candies I had, but I would never. Fuck you, bitch. I
She's-
know when you go to bed.
She took them so quickly, and then I could
Yeah.
never find them. She was very good at hiding.
That's
This is-
insane.
Yeah.
That's
So
actually a big
cruel.
Jewish holiday. It's
Yeah.
day after Halloween sales.
Oh
Candy on
man.
sale.
Oh, I'm gonna go get some candy.
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah.
candy's like fucking ridiculously marked down.
Oh yeah.
What's the best Halloween candy? I guess we. What's the best Halloween candy?
The Reese's in the shape of pumpkins, baby.
oh,
right, yeah.
good call. Good call. I
Yeah.
like Tootsie Pops a lot.
Those are good.
I like Tootsie Rolls. I like lollipops. The Tootsie Pop is like you just took two great things and made them okay.
I disagree. I think it's
Yeah.
better than both.
I love the Tootsie Roll in the inside because at least like that way you can like consume everything. With like the gum, like you never know like when you're done with it.
Yeah.
It's like this weird
Oh,
thing.
the blow pop. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
if given the choice, I'd take Tootsie Pop over blow pop.
Longest running commercial ever. They still
How many licks?
yeah, how many
yeah.
that same commercial's run since like 1963. They haven't changed it.
It's a fucking banger.
It's a banger, dude.
Once JFK got shot, they started and they never
yeah,
stopped.
They're like because JFK was one getting in the way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. I don't care how. I don't want people to know how many licks it takes.
This is a top secret government.
That's like-
this is a top this is a top U.S. secret. We can't let the Cubans know how many licks it takes.
That's why the CIA took him out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The American population needs to know.
They need to know.
JFK knew how many licks it took. And
Oh
they
yeah,
had to
actually
take-
JFK was going to expose how many licks, and
Yeah.
Big Tootsie took him out.
They're like 1, a 2, a 3.
They say the world will never know, but the world must know.
That's cool, man. RFK Jr., our future president, man.
Yeah.
He's polling really well.
Yeah,
Yeah, in a three-way race, he got like 22%.
that's not
Wow,
bad.
imagine that between two old retards, a slightly younger retard.
Yeah,
It's like the fucking people's choice.
the one that can talk a little better.
They're literally all retarded. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like
so-
it's mostly just like I'm a dissatisfied vote.
Yeah. If anyone like weighs in and tries to like give the illusion that this election matters,
Mhm.
like sincerely, fuck you. You're out of your fucking mind if you think this election matters.
My dad stopped voting, and part of the reason is he's like retired and now almost 80, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, and the guys running for president are older than me.
Wow,
Like-
yeah. I mean, Biden is like 10 years younger than my insanely old grandma.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
like
pretty
there
nuts.
needs to be a fucking limit. Like there's like you have to be at least 35 years of age.
Yeah.
At most you should be 60.
69.
At
Let's
most
make
you
it
should.
69.
Honestly,
just for
like let's
fun.
be real. Like if they really give a fuck, it should be 50. At 50, and then you can go for 2 terms.
I agree.
And then you're at 58, and then but you're still young enough so you can retire, and most importantly, you will have to live with the effects of your presidency.
Yeah.
Because, like,
yeah, right.
Joe Biden could not give a like he'll get us into a war. Who cares?
Yeah.
Because dog, he's gonna die soon.
Yeah.
Hell, he might even die before this next fucking election, and then Kamala Harris is gonna run and gonna lose.
Yeah.
Just
But
like
Biden
she
at
lost
least-
to Gavin Newsom at Halloween Comedy
I will
Fight
say
Club.
Biden does have an air of like, come on,
Yeah.
we gotta get. I think Trump truly, not to say like anything, but I'm just saying, I think Trump
Don't say
truly,
anything negative about Trump on
truly
this
does not. He's like, I'm dying in 5 years.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. You know,
Trump is an honorary buff boy.
that's
so,
true.
yes.
I mean, he is cooler than
Yeah.
Biden for sure.
Also, if Trump, dies in 5 years, right, he can't run. If he won again, 4 years, he wouldn't be able to run again. I don't think.
Has any president won? Grover Cleveland, right? Is
yeah,
that it?
one non-consecutive
Yeah.
terms. But after the second one, it's now you can't do run for a third term at all.
Hey, it's me, Grover Cleveland. Cleveland.
My favorite story about Grover Cleveland, it's not specifically about him, but his daughter, Ruth Cleveland, died when she was like 9 years old.
Haha, so long, bitch.
And then years... Fuck Ruth Cleveland.
Yeah, fuck Ruth Cleveland.
yeah.
She was
Hey,
a
hey,
pretty
Garfield,
ugly kid
sorry
anyway.
your kid died. Maybe hope that lasagna still tastes good.
Oh, I hate Mondays.
James Garfield's a different president.
Oh, Grover. What's Grover's
Grover
the
Cleveland.
monster.
Yes.
Grover's the monster.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
tried watching Sesame Street,
yeah.
but I saw the count and I got too scared.
Yeah, that guy's
very
terrifying.
He's
scary.
terrifying.
Count
He's
literally
so
would fucking
scary.
freak me out.
Yeah.
And now he's like autistic. You realize now he's just like
Yeah.
a wildly autistic guy.
One, I'm fucking freaked out, dude.
But yeah, so Ruth Cleveland dies at 9 years old. 20 years later, the candy company makes Baby Ruth candy bars.
Nice.
And they want to name after Babe Ruth because he was the
Oh.
biggest celebrity in the world. And he was like, all right, you're going to have to pay me a lot of money. And they were like, well, it's actually Baby Ruth, and it's named after Ruth Cleveland.
Oh.
They wouldn't have to pay royalties, but they still got the name recognition of Babe Ruth, so that everyone thinks it's named after Babe Ruth, which was their plan.
Yeah.
It was just their way of not having to pay royalties and still
And to this day, I definitely always thought it was a Babe Ruth.
Exactly.
thing. Wow.
And like honestly, like Babe Ruth, what a retard! Because like I'd be like, oh, be immortalized in a candy that will be beloved for generations. Okay, some things are more important than money, and I hope you're thinking about that when you're burning in hell. Do you think he's in hell for breaking for giving the Yankees curse?
the Red Sox curse.
Yeah.
But the Red it was the curse of the Bambino that made the Red Sox not win a World Series.
Why'd he curse him? Is he part gypsy or something?
No, he was just drunk.
Yeah, dude, Babe Ruth was kind of fucking awesome.
I know, I love him.
All the
He's
stories
a big, fat,
about him.
drunk guy.
Yeah,
He just was
'cause
amazing.
that was also back in the day where reporters would cover stuff up for famous people. So he like missed.
Let's get back to that.
He missed the first 2 months of a season one year. They just called an illness, and he had syphilis. He played right field, except when they played in the Cardinal Stadium, he was moved to left field because in that stadium, the way it was built, the sun was in his eyes in left field as opposed to right field.
Oh,
He he just didn't want to play in the sun, and he was such a good hitter, they let him do whatever he wanted.
That's awesome. Well, the game was like only 20 years old at the time, right?
It was brand new.
It was 20 years into like the World Series, but Major League Baseball had been around since like the 1870s. It was like 40, 50 years old.
Okay.
But it was by the 1920s. That's when it first like was really blowing up and getting popular.
Right.
When did baseball cards come out?
Around that time.
When did Pokemon cards come out?
I don't know.
1996.
Yeah, 1990.
That's about right.
That's when baseball really started taking
I
off.
know,
Yeah.
because kids would go into. I'll bet when Pokemon cards came out, all these like autistic baseball card shop owners were like, whoa, what the fuck? This gold mine.
I was a big baseball card collector,
Yeah.
and the same stores I would go to for baseball cards were really big on like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I remember
also.
I went to those stores to
Yeah.
get Pokemon cards. when I
And
was a
you would
kid.
see all the sports memorabilia.
Oh, yeah,
too.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
the same spots.
Yeah.
I remember there
My
was
mom
one.
almost threw out my Pokemon cards this week. Can
Yeah?
you believe it? I told her, Mom, no. They're worth a lot of money.
It's crazy how parents will just like throw shit out, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's why like the baseball card boom for a while like ended, because for a long time parents would throw out kids baseball cards. So if you had the old cards, they were valuable. But then like everyone our age saved all their baseball cards, so now none of them are worth anything.
I mean, that was the same thing
Fucking
with
nerds.
like,
Yeah.
that was like the thing with comic books was like in the 90s, a lot of like those like early issue Spider-Man and Superman comics were worth a lot of money. And so in the 90s, people were like, well, I'm a comic book collector now.
Right.
So then like in the 90s, like they were pushing out all these variant covers where it's like, this is a collector's edition, limited printing. So people would buy like all these different printings, but there were so many variations and so many different printings that it canceled it out. And now none of that's worth anything.
Yeah, there was a big controversy with like Upper Deck or Topps. Like one of them printed out like multiple of the same card. It was supposed to be a certain amount of all of them, and they just overprinted to try and sell more. But now they're actually not as valuable because they overprinted.
Oh shit.
It was something. There was a whole documentary a guy did on it. It's a hilarious documentary because this guy's like, "Why aren't baseball cards worth as much anymore?" It's kind of a dumb, boring premise for a documentary. But the
Right.
thing is, his dad was a like card shop owner and collector. So, and he doesn't have a good relationship with his dad. His dad like cheated on his mom or whatever,
Nice.
isn't in his life.
Whoa.
So
Hell
like
yeah.
halfway through the documentary, he's just talking about baseball cards, and his friend behind the camera is like, "You're not going to talk about what happened with your father." And the second half becomes him trying to talk to his father again and reconnect.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's fucking funny, dude.
It's so funny. We're just halfway through this dumb, boring documentary about baseball cards, which I loved, but
Yeah,
most
yeah,
people
yeah.
wouldn't. It just becomes a thing about how can I see my dad? Then he finally does, and they just open up baseball cards together. And he's like, "So whatever happened with mom?"
Well, actually, a lot of the best all-time documentaries, they
Yeah.
start out being about something else, and they like
Yeah.
accidentally something amazing.
Yeah.
They undercover.
the story just happened.
Yeah, like Capturing the Freedmans, which is like one of the all-time best documentaries. It was
Yeah.
originally just like a documentary about like clowns, and they
Yeah.
uncover this like insane story about like a family of rapists or something.
Capturing the
Nice.
Freedmans.
Yeah, it's
That
good.
soun's anti-Semitic.
Wait a minute.
It was also
Nazi
the name
documentary.
of Hamas's plan.
Capturing the Friedmans.
Yeah.
Matt, wasn't that your mom's maiden name?
What?
Yeah, check that. I watched it in
It was about clowns?
high school, I think. Well, one of the family members was like a clown or something. I don't remember. I saw it in high school, but it's amazing how it's actually a really, really good movie. If I remember,
Yeah.
it starts out the guy who's making the document is just like trying to make a movie about party clowns.
Yeah.
And then like he went down a rabbit hole of this one family, and it's just like
Yeah.
a crazy ass story.
Rabbit holes are the fucking best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't there like a thing where there was they were trying to look into like either like tickle fighting or pillow fighting?
Oh
and they
yeah,
ended
that
up-
one tickled.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
I've
ended
heard
up
about
finding
that.
this like deep dark thing of whatever the guy like
Yeah.
abusing people.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah.
Scary.
The I remember
Three
was it-
Identical Strangers is another one like that.
Yeah. Was
Oh
the-
yeah, wasn't it like three people looked exactly the same?
Yeah.
But then
They're like
Yeah.
identical triplets. I actually haven't seen it, so I
like,
don't remember what
separated
happened.
at birth.
Everyone
like-
says it gets really dark.
that's
or
like an
something.
even bigger extension of Sister Sister, where it was like
Oh,
two
yeah,
twins
yeah.
that were
Sister,
separated.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, three identical.
Is-
Three identical. That's so Ravens.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
originally titled Tony Tony Tony?
Yeah. Tony. So, speaking of 1800s, I was just in New Orleans.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Spooky.
New Orleans.
Nice.
You were there for
Uh,
Halloween.
It was so scary.
Went to a Civil War battlefield.
I did go on a ghost tour.
Nice.
Yeah.
how was that?
It was pretty sick, dude.
Nice.
See ghosts
Apparently,
of Confederate
apparently. So the
soldiers.
funniest part was the funniest tidbit was there's like this house that Nicolas Cage bought but apparently it was owned by like a woman who like killed her kids or something like that, and it's like
Sick.
known as like the most haunted place in New Orleans. And so of course Nick Cage's like, I'm gonna buy it. And then after he bought it, apparently his career went into the tubes. Like he started losing his hair, and so apparently Nick Cage walked around New Orleans for a while asking residents how he could lift the curse, which is so funny. Just like, how do I lift this curse?
This sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie.
I know. Isn't that cool? But yeah, New Orleans, it's so cool. It's
Yeah.
so haunted and old and drunk.
Yeah, I've only been once, but it was awesome.
I was wearing a cat shirt one day,
Yeah.
and a group of women all in cat shirts came up to me. They were like, "Catter Day," because it was Saturday, and they all like raised. I didn't know they were talking to me.
Yeah.
And so my headphones were in, and they're like, and my friend was like, "Robbie," I was like, "What? Wait, what? Oh,
Yeah.
cat? I don't know."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. Oh, so the reason I brought it up was I went to this old pharmacy museum.
Yeah.
From it was very like Red Dead Redemption, BioShock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The first
yeah.
pharmacy was in New Orleans, and they just had all this like old medicine and tips and tricks, or like all these like tonics to get rid of your cancer. They had like original bottles
Like
of that
whiskey
stuff.
to cure heart disease.
Yeah, they had like the original soda jerk. It was exactly like fucking BioShock Infinite or something.
That's
Yeah.
It was so
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool.
They have cocaine in there.
They did. No, they did. They had like the cocaine because they used to use it for like
Yeah.
toothaches. Yeah. My favorite one was these doctors are horny as fuck because
Yeah.
they used to give out butt plugs for people to put up their ass.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they're like, this will cure a lot of your diseases if you put this thing up your ass.
Yeah, they'd say like women have hysteria and they give them a
Female
dildo.
hysteria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. Who would ever think that women are hysterical?
Yeah, you think? Well, you know what though? Maybe the butt plug does help.
Yeah. They're acting up, dude. Time to
Yeah.
get disciplined.
I will say, yeah, sex toys they're a little calmer after.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's well, it can't be that they're not being sexually satisfied by their husbands. It must
No,
be. It
no
must be
way.
some sort of medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the good old days when you'd have separate beds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I just
oh,
why
yeah. Midwives.
Everyone was getting horny, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I went to a Katz's this
Ooh.
week for the first time in a while, and I was thinking when it's like since 1888, I'm like, there should be a Red Dead level of the building of Katz's.
Take me back, dude.
Yeah.
You only lived to like 32, but what a great what a great.
Yeah. Those are quality years.
Those are quality years
Yeah.
because men were at the top. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You just died in a duel.
Yeah. Fighting
No,
for
that-
your honor.
Yeah. It was very Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
That's
That
awesome.
era.
I haven't seen that yet. Is it good?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
It's
is that
dark.
the
It's dark
new-
and depressing.
Is that
though,
the
so
new Scorsese?
yeah.
It's coming out on Apple or Netflix soon?
Apple.
Apple. Okay. I'll,
Yeah.
soon though, right?
The best part is Brendan Fraser. His entrance. He really wails out in his entrance. He's like, "Your Honor." He just looks so fat.
Nice,
and he kind of
dude.
comes in, and you don't know he's in the movie.
Yeah.
He's not in the establishing shot. It's just a hard cut to him, and he's like very fatly like, "I object."
I'm gonna start taking wailing out and use it not even from Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah,
Just other people.
Dude, I
This
went-
Israel Amos thing's got Amy Schumer really wailing out here.
Oh man, in her post, she was like, "I am the most successful female comedian of all time." Like, all right, what the fuck, dude? Don't say
I saw
that.
someone say Amy Schumer. It was something where they were like, "What's this bitch saying? You mean the bitch who is so bad at comedy that Monique won a lawsuit against Netflix for not getting paid as much as her?"
That's funny. Oh my god.
Fucking Dalton had the best bit where he said like, "This bitch looks like Pops from Regular Show." And it's just like this guy with a giant face with like a little face, big head.
Oh man,
Yeah,
he's
that's
so
awesome.
good at misogyny.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
I mean, financially,
people really just need to.
people make more money now than ever. So probably whoever the most person making the most money now would be the most successful comedian of all
Well,
time.
people are making more money now, but the dollar is less valuable.
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
Carol Burnett or
Yeah.
Lucille Ball?
Yeah.
Or like even like Joan Rivers, the OG.
Yeah.
I would say Joan Rivers. I would actually see the argument that Amy Schumer is more successful than Joan Rivers, but Lucille
What-
Ball, that show was fucking
and like,
huge.
let's not diminish how big Roseanne Barr was in the '90s.
Yeah,
like
honestly,
she was like
Yeah.
huge, and like it's
Now she's just like right about everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like her. I like her later work.
Yeah.
although I will say, although for Roseanne Barr, you know, for her to still be as relevant as she is in her age now, that's got to tell you something.
Fellow Skankfest performer.
Also,
was
I
at
don't think
Skankfest?
she.
yeah, she did
that's
this year.
awesome.
Yeah,
I don't. She clearly doesn't mean what she's saying. And
I don't
it's
think
so
she knows where she is.
I think she's just a little out. I think she's probably just like a little pilled out, maybe a little
Oh
high.
yeah, no, she's on a lot of Xanax. I
Just
think
let her
I
have
also
fun.
think she's just cuckoo.
Yeah.
Like
Everyone-
she had a big mental break. And,
Who wouldn't, dude? I think everyone went a little crazy post-COVID.
Yeah, well, she also was like a.
She was in like a car accident when she was young and had like a brain injury from like a young age.
Yeah,
right?
if you actually watch her talk for a long period of time, you're like, ooh, this person's not really all there.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, say can
Oh, yeah.
you see?
Not that she was ever. I think she was always kind of on the line, but she skirted that line in a very funny way.
I think she
Yeah.
lost her mind after Tom Arnold divorced her because that was like her last chance at happiness.
Do you remember that Family Guy joke when Danny DeVito proposed to Rhea Perlman? And Danny DeVito's on one knee and he goes, "Look, it's either me and nobody." That's Tom Arnold and Roseanne.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so true. And they're still together too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Tom Arnold and
No,
Roseanne?
not Tom Arnold
Danny
and
DeVito
Roseanne.
and Rhea
Yeah.
Perlman.
I've been
yeah.
watching Frasier for the first time.
Oh,
Oh,
Niles, really?
My parents used to watch it when I was a kid, and I never
Yeah,
really
well, yeah, I
got
catch
it much.
it here and there.
I never really got it
yeah.
much, but as when I watched it as an adult, I'm like, this is actually the greatest
It's
show.
really funny.
It's so
it's
good.
fantastic. And
They're
very
so funny.
and very funny very quickly. I'm on like season 1 and really like
It
enjoying
goes fast,
it.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. It's on Paramount, huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on Paramount Plus.
I got it, baby. I got all the streamers.
They
now.
remastered it. It looks really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now, are you?
Maybe I'll have to watch Friends now, though.
Are you binging all of it to build up for the Frasier reboot?
Yeah, I was
coming out?
actually like, well, that was my plan, but everyone was like, the reboot sucks, so then it kind of like
give it a
some
couple,
of the wind was out of my sails.
They might, you know, they might still have time to course correct.
My thing is, he goes back to Boston and doesn't go to Cheers. Come on.
It's like
Yeah.
no, they're saving it up for the finale.
Oh,
They're gonna do something where it's like, you know, it's like, you know, I have an idea, and then like it's gonna be like a thing where like the whole season. My guess, and I haven't seen anything, and I haven't read any spoilers, but it's something to do. I think the reason Frasier returns to Boston has something to do with his son. And I think like it's basically going to set himself up to be like kind of mirror Frasier and his father in that. Only it's Frasier and his son now.
Either Joe is more careful
Oh, yeah,
with
that's smart.
Joe's more careful with being accurate about Frasier than he is about Israel-Palestine.
Well, this
When he's talking about Frasier, he's like, I don't know anything for sure, but I just want to.
Well, this is
because
this
Frasier
matters.
actually matters.
Matt, this is important, and this isn't just some.
This affects our lives.
Yeah, this isn't some fucking horse shit.
I would rather tweet about Frasier than Israel-Palestine.
Yeah.
People are really losing their minds about Israel-Palestine.
Yeah.
People are just posting up a storm. It's like
I'm
it's
losing
like
my
Trump
mind
got
about the
elected.
Frasier reboot.
It's like Trump got elected again. People are
Yeah.
just like posting.
Well, people
Yeah.
need something to do, and they need an identity.
I mean, I think it's like people die in the Middle East all the time like crazy.
They
No one
love
gives a
dying.
fuck.
It's like a fucking rush for them because they get to go to heaven and they get all their virgins.
Yeah.
when they die.
Yeah. I mean, there's constant like genocides in the Middle East and like
Yeah.
just mass killings
Yeah.
and shit like that. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's good, but it's funny that like this is the one everyone posts about constantly.
Yeah.
Now, Matt, as a person that actually went to Israel,
Yes.
is that place worth dying for? Be
I
honest.
Mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not my home
When
in any
they-
way. I grew up in New York, so I
mean-
never felt any. My family's not there. I went there because I get a free trip, and it was fun, and I liked it. And there's like people who I know that are there that are like, well, just got called in for night duty now. And
Did you
they're
go
like,
to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem?
Yeah,
Oh,
both.
wow.
You do the whole. You do a few. You do like 3 days in Jerusalem. There's a day in Tel Aviv. There's a day. We visit. We like at the border. Like we saw where probably is being attacked now.
Did you were you sad that the attacks happened, or were you indifferent?
I was on a rooftop in Jersey City, jumping up and down, celebrating.
Nice, dude.
I was like, la.
Do you think
How about Tel
if
Aviv
they
the
were like
seagull?
if they were like Jews, we need you to fucking enlist in the Israeli army, would you do it?
Probably not. I'm not enlisted. I mean, in Israel, I have friends who like they now are being called back into duty.
I'm in the IDFC. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, there
Nice,
you go.
dude. Now Netanyahu.
I mean,
he's-
if some of those
yeah.
hot IDF girls asked me, maybe I'd
Dude,
say
some
yes.
of them are really hot.
A lot of them are.
It's a marketing
Fat ass,
scam, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Israel. I will say this. I think people are taking what Israel says with a grain of salt just because at this point we know they're really fucking good at propaganda. Case
Yeah.
in point, the hot IDF soldiers. I'm enlisting
Yeah.
just to fuck them.
All
Yeah.
of Hollywood too, like they're all saying, like, you know, it makes
Even
me not
just
wanna,
like when I was on the trip there, they just walk around and you just see hot girls walking. I wonder if they know where the birthright people are and they walk the hot girls by us.
they have like these hot girls walk by and be like, we're looking for big, dumb, retarded Americans.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
And I was like, hey, wait a minute.
that feels like what birthright is, right? They're like, hey, come to Israel,
Yeah.
get blown, you're gonna love it forever. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and then like when we fucking bomb the Gaza Strip, you'll actually think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that we're heroic.
I think maybe for the younger, I was in an older group, so I think they stopped doing the older groups. My group was like the last older group. The next year they were like only the younger groups. Because I think the older kids, they're like, oh, they're not going to be indoctrinated. They get that they're just taking the free vacation and they're just here to have fun.
Well, Matt, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think there's going to be a next year. I think
Joe's gonna kill you.
Yeah. Palestine's going to be free.
yeah.
Do you think Israel is going to attack this podcast because we're a pro-Hamas podcast?
I will say though about the propaganda thing, people fall for Hamas propaganda just because it's easier now with social media. Like they're just falling for fake videos and shit. Hook, line, and
It's
sinker.
everything. Well, like they'll fall for anything that feeds the
stand
Yeah,
narrative
it
they
feeds their
want.
worldview, their echo
Yeah.
chamber. And then if you point out something's fake and it doesn't agree with them, they just like go radio silent on you.
Well, there's times where I've had things where philosophically this is the way I feel, and then I see a video that's on my side but is clearly fake.
Yeah.
And it's like, just because I agree with the point they're trying to make doesn't mean that that's real.
I will say it's creepy that my For You page on Twitter, and it's probably just because I follow more liberal accounts than leftist accounts, it was very quickly all pro-Palestine things.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird because I haven't engaged with any content on either side.
Yeah.
The first day it was like very pro-Israel, and then
Yeah.
like as soon as like
Israel
people,
struck
as soon as the
back.
curtain was pulled back,
Yeah, yeah.
people woke up and they were like, "No, we're pro-Hamas."
Actually, right after the Israel attack, I was like, that's why I was creeped out. I was like, why is my timeline all
Yeah.
pro-Palestine shit? Like, I haven't even, I don't know.
Yeah.
My whole thing is like, and I know people don't like this. I am pretty uneducated on the conflict and the
Yeah.
history and everything like that.
Nice, dude. Me
And-
too.
and
Me too.
it's-
But I'm not either. I literally don't have a horse in the fight.
And it seems like if
know?
you take a position either way, people get mad at you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I don't feel strong enough to take a side, and I also don't have any true moral inclinations one way or the other because I don't
yeah.
have. This is a fucking long and complex fucking
Also,
conflict.
and most
Let's be
people who are
real.
commenting on it aren't as educated on it as they should be either. Just,
Yeah.
I think everyone should just be upset
You know-
if innocent people are being hurt.
It's
well,
what they
no,
say.
Matt. Let's not get ahead of
Well,
ourselves.
I like
That's
that
fair.
innocent
That's
people
true.
are being
Yeah,
killed.
that's true.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
shouldn't be making a statement
You
like
see
that.
these
By the way,
fucking cry-
I should write a statement like Israel doesn't have a right to defend itself, but I really like that innocent people are being killed.
It's cool. Like, let's be real. It's very funny. It's funny to see the footage of everyone crying like a little fucking baby. Like, what's wrong, baby? You want a bottle just because your fucking village got leveled? But
Yeah.
let's be real. As Americans, we shouldn't even criticize because we are on stolen land.
Yeah.
America
That's
is
true.
on stolen land. You stole it from my people, the Wapiti.
Yeah, the Osage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before sharing your opinion on Israel-Palestine, make sure to do a land acknowledgement.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Give it back.
At my old job, we had to watch film festival screeners and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
before every Sundance one, it started with a fucking land acknowledgement. And I was
Yeah.
like, what does that have to do with movies?
Well, when I was in Toronto, I went to a Blue Jays game, and they did a land acknowledgement before the game, and
with the
no
human
one,
sacrifice.
Yeah.
They were like, number in row 723, come down.
It was like BioShock Infinite.
Yeah.
They gave Matt a baseball to throw at a black couple.
I was in the upper deck, and they were like, "You've been selected to come down and take a Native American in the front row seat."
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Damn, dude, it really makes you think.
Yeah.
That really does.
But no, it was it was interesting that like nobody there. No, it was just another. It was such a regular thing that they just do. It's just a part of the pregame thing there.
It's like how we like kneel during the national anthem now.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I'm gonna go over to Israel and talk to Netanyahu and be like, "Could you be bombing any more civilians?"
Yeah, dude.
And
What would Matthew Perry want?
I know when we need.
Why
him
can't
most.
you guys be friends?
Yeah, there we go.
This isn't what Matthew would have wanted.
Did you see what the Friends creators posted?
They said,
No.
"Fuck you." He
Yeah.
was a fucking addict. Good
Their
riddance.
statement was like, "The one where our hearts were broken." I was like, "Come on, guys."
They honestly, it should be in their contract where they have to do a reunion episode every time they die.
Yeah.
And so when they die in real life, their
Oh,
character
yeah.
dies.
Right. They have to. Yeah.
And so like that's how like everyone gets a little catch up where it's like Monica is now gonna have to say like, oh well, luckily like the twins are old enough,
Yeah.
you know, and blah blah
Oh
blah.
yeah.
And then like Ross will be like, yeah, I wish Ben could make it, but his lesbian moms killed themselves because it turns out that lesbian relationships are mentally unstable after 20 years, which is probably true.
The name of this episode of Buff Boy should be the one where they solved Israel-Palestine.
Oh, perfect.
The one behind a paywall because these takes are too spicy.
Yeah. Like shawarma.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Could this be any more complicated?
Honestly, the death of Matthew Perry bringing together Israel and Palestine is the
Yeah,
ending
we
that
realized
realized
that Chandler would not want us
Yes,
to.
that's what we all need, actually.
Bro, Chandler was living with Joey, even though Joey was an actor.
Someone in Israel did write on their rocket, "This is for Chandler." I'm not kidding. And then because someone like tweeted out like, "We still have our humor," and that's what I love about us.
That's awesome, dude. Well,
There
you know
should-
what? That endears me to their fight.
Just be a close-up on like an Israeli soldier and then a Hamas freedom fighter, and then
Yeah.
you just see them both at the same time here in their earpieces, so no one told me
Yeah.
life was gonna be
Well,
this way.
what I did learn from the memorial today was that foreigners fucking love Friends, dude.
Yeah.
So
That's,
many of the notes were just like, "We love Friends in Bengal." You know,
It's, a lot of those shows were how people learned to
English.
speak English.
Yeah, my mom's family said that.
They're
they learned
so
how to speak
accessible.
English through sitcoms.
Yeah, it's like you understand like sitcoms have a good way of kind of like visualizing the story and like
Yeah.
what's going on too, and like they always have to give exposition and make it short because it's only 20 minutes. So it's like, all right, well we're here at the mall,
Right.
You know, what do we do now?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, remember you told me we have to make sure your boss signs this contract by the 5th. You know.
Oh, that's
Stuff
a
like
really
that.
good point. Yeah.
Because like it's like every time they come back
Oh,
from a
yeah,
commercial
that's a really
break,
good point.
they gotta jog your memory. So it's like, oh, and so that's how I say that in the past tense.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting, like sitcoms now.
And they speak
any-
slowly.
Pretty much
Yeah.
any new sitcom is like the formula itself is so played out that I think it's tough to make a new good sitcom. But the old ones, maybe it's because we just grew up with them. But I
No,
feel
there's
like
no good sitcoms anymore. I was actually,
Yeah.
when I was watching Frasier, I was laughing.
Yeah.
And I texted my friend. Maybe I texted you guys too. I was like, I was just so bummed out. I was like, fuck, there's like no good sitcoms on anymore.
Is it just that it's played out, or is it just that no one
Well,
knows how to make
the,
a good
the
one?
format's different
I think
too.
people also don't want to be like. People just don't want to make good comedies, right? They don't.
It's-
The infrastructure for making good comedy, they're too afraid to do. You
Yeah.
know,
People's-
just get
yeah.
six funny white guys in a room, and just
Yeah.
6 funny white Jews in a room and bang something
No,
out.
because
You
like
can't do
after
that
one
anymore.
white person on a show, they have to have a black lesbian best friend.
Exactly.
And-
Exactly.
yeah.
Everything. All the cast has to look like a community college brochure.
Yeah.
Like Seinfeld was written. It was every year Jerry and Larry would just hire 10 Jewish dudes, get
Yeah.
all their life stories, and then Jerry and Larry would write every episode together, stolen from their life stories.
Yeah.
Fire them, bring in a new cast of Jews,
And there
and
was
Jerry
also,
and
I
Larry
mean-
would write everything.
But
And
I mean, even like
they
Fresh-
wouldn't let that happen now.
Yeah, even like Fresh Prince was a great sitcom. It's just
Yeah.
like there's some sitcoms you could do that
Yeah.
are like more
Well,
diverse.
That's
that
a
would
great
be, like-
example. Like
Yeah.
a show about a black guy
Yeah.
written by all Jews.
what
it's
if-
a great that's a great formula.
Fresh Prince are like, what if black people were rich?
yeah.
What if instead of crack,
Not so scary now, are they?
what if the father instead of selling crack was a judge and distributed justice.
Perfect.
The exact. What if it was the exact opposite? It's like,
Yeah.
what if the son was non-threatening and slightly effeminate?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. The Jeffersons was similar. It was like, what if the white people were the annoying ones in
Yeah.
the building?
Damn, dude, we gotta. All right, we gotta end this fucking Hollywood strike so we can get more Jews fucking telling us how to do things.
Well, that's the classic Sanford and Son bit, right?
Yeah.
You know that one? Red Fox
yeah.
got an all black. He fired his writers, got an all black writing staff. First script back, he looks at it and he goes, "Bring me back my juice."
That's awesome, man. Good.
Yeah.
That's cool. He fucking just like the fucking all black things.
Dude,
like he
Red
was reading the
Fox is
script.
awesome.
He's
Underrated.
great.
People
He's
don't
really-
talk about his stand-up.
His stand-up is
so
amazing.
amazing.
It's because he never really did. He put out specials.
Not really, and also back then, like specials weren't like what
Yeah.
they later became.
I think they were records. I think he put out records.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he
a lot of
didn't have, like-
records. He was
okay.
like an underground.
I
Like,
gotta listen to his records.
It
Yeah.
was like up until like I would feel like up until like the 70s, they really just had like, if you wanted to listen to comedy, you could only hear it on like audio because the video was such like a different format at the time.
Right.
And it wasn't as accessible. It wasn't until like the Tonight Show and like those late night shows where they would have like a comedy
Yeah.
spot.
Well,
Right.
I mean, Red Fox was like doing the nightclubs when he was so dirty he could never be on the Tonight Show.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I think he was like one of the guys who was like the reason comedy clubs later existed. He was like, because he would perform in like nightclubs where there was also like a piano player, a singer, and everything, and the comedian would be a part of it. But he was so dirty, he was never on TV. And eventually they were like, let's have these clubs where all the comedians can just be dirty.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that. Yeah. I mean, I've just seen clips online, and he's just killing.
I saw there's one video of him. He's drinking out of one of those like sippy cups. It's like a boob.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was like right after Betty Ford had gotten like breast cancer famously. So he's drinking this boob and he goes, "This is a Christmas gift from Betty Ford." After she just got her tits
Oh
chopped
my
off.
god! Oh my god!
That's like in like
Wow.
1977
Wow.
he's doing that.
And never once accused of rape. How about that, Cosby?
Yeah.
You think you're so good for not swearing?
And also, Red Fox was like a fucking maniac. He was like eating girls out in the like Sanford and Son in the dressing room.
Oh
Like,
my
there's
God.
wild
Oh
stories
my
about
God.
Hell
him.
yeah, dude.
How come there's so many good black sitcoms in the 70s, but then not anymore?
The crack epidemic
Yeah.
wiped them all out.
I mean, it feels like we've regressed. You know, I don't know. You
Yeah.
know,
I think they
in terms of comedy,
Atlanta,
like sitcoms.
that's all black.
But
cast.
Atlanta's over, right?
It's done.
I just think
Yeah.
there's no good sitcoms in general. It was like
Yeah.
we got to the ideal in the 70s and 60s.
I
With
feel
sitcoms.
like,
I think and then I think woke shit almost like kind of fucked it up.
And The Office kind of changed it, so instead of like a 3-camera shoot, it got more of like
Yeah.
a guerrilla style documentary.
Yeah, and The
Yeah.
Office is still great. That was the last great.
That was the
sitcom,
last
I
good.
think.
Like everything after that got a little too.
Time Out Your
like,
Mother's okay.
you
I
know what?
liked How I
30
Met
Rock.
Your
30
Mother.
Rock is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that was on at the
Wait,
same.
that was around the
same
same
time
time,
as The
yeah.
Office. Those are the two last.
I feel
So
like How I Met Your
early-
Mother was on during that time also.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother just ended pretty late.
Yeah, because I was watching How I Met Your Mother when I was in college.
Yeah,
And
me
that-
too.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend made me watch because she was like, "You look like Ted Mosby." I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
which
liked
at
How
the time
Met
I
Your
did.
Mother. It lasted way longer than you realize it did, though.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It ended way later. That's
Yeah.
why it
They,
seems
they were
like-
really
yeah.
milking it and dragging it
Well,
out.
those shows they can go on for like Frasier. I'm like 11 seasons. That's fucking crazy.
Everyone was just trying to get like that syndication number. They had to get like 100 episodes.
And that's gotta be like the best job in entertainment.
Yeah.
Just like you just show up.
Yeah.
It's on like a teleprompter. You don't have to
Yeah.
like even memorize anything.
Oh,
Basically,
what a banger!
people
dude.
really had it. That's why the great ones I think rise above because they probably had. It was probably so easy just to fucking phone in that
Dude,
job.
if we were born like 2 decades earlier, we
Yeah.
could have gotten in on that like 90s comedy boom.
That's the thing. I look at Friends. I'm like, I would have fit right in on this show. All these guys kind of look like me.
Yeah.
I could have been
fucking-
like the guy who gets shit on by Jennifer Aniston, literally.
Yeah, I
That's
could have
like my-
played like Ross's weird brother.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
I could have been like the guy who had sex with every single member of the cast.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like my role. Like I make the one where they all try polyamory.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, the one where they go to an orgy and Joe like opens up the door.
Joe's Chandler's dad's boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I guess Always Sunny is also at that time, but it's
Always
still on.
Sunny.
Yeah.
That's still. Are they still doing?
They're
new
still
stuff?
on.
They're still doing
South-
that, and so is Curb.
South Park's got new stuff too. It's,
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
South Park and Always Sunny are kind of like
Family
the be-
Guy, but I just think that like the last like great sitcom that was like,
Yeah.
you know, really permeated the zeitgeist.
Is Frasier the best spin-off sitcom?
Yeah,
I think
probably.
so, yeah. I knew about Frasier before ever knowing that he was even a Cheers character.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of interesting, huh? At least it wasn't supposed to be. At least they were just going to do a Kelsey Grammer show. But they were like, let's just make it.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer kind of.
Niles.
He's like one of those, for a while I think he was getting some shit, but he's one of those like Hollywood Republicans who kind of gets away with it almost.
Yeah, because he's just drunk.
He doesn't mean it, dude. He's just a fucking raging alcoholic.
Yeah, I've heard he's not a great guy.
He's a monster, dude. Do you see that footage of him falling off the stage?
No.
He's just like walking around and he falls off the stage and he's like, what a fucking loser, dude.
I heard he would show up to set like drunk as shit.
I bet he was
and just be
drunk,
like
yeah.
fall down drunk, and they're like, all right, and action. He'd be like, Niles, where's my? He'd like
Yeah.
totally snap out
Turn
of
it
it when the
on.
camera's
That's
on.
tight,
It's
dude.
crazy.
That little adrenaline. I bet he was on a little cocaine.
Oh, not a bad idea. But that's like the most functioning out. That's like you never get sober if you have whatever that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he's still? Is he sober now, or is he
He
still?
is. He talks about
Really?
it. Like, yeah, he talks about like he's in recovery. He's like,
Oh, really?
that was a part of me. I'm glad I closed that chapter. You know.
You know, no one talks like that authentically. Like you
Yeah.
have to.
You have to try.
You have to try to talk like.
Oh yeah, so this little thing I just after the schoolyard, my
Yeah.
chums and I would ride our bikes down by the lake.
He's kind of just, he's like private school Kevin Costner.
Yeah, sure.
He's exactly private school Kevin Costner.
They invented that voice for movies when sound started.
Yeah.
Because they were like, this voice makes our characters sound classier.
Yeah.
And they didn't know when sound came on. They were like, ooh, should we talk in our normal voice or not? So if you actually look at bloopers from movies from that era, it's very interesting because they're like, get over here, Mr. Ah, fuck, I messed up my line. Here, get over here. You know, it's
Really?
like, yeah.
That's fun,
You should
yeah.
go watch bloopers from like old
I
movies.
love the idea that there were people that thought like people just talk like that, like the same way.
I
with, like,
thought that.
like
for
Shakespeare.
forever.
You
Yeah.
think like you go back in like the fucking like 1400s, like art thou
Yeah.
fucking vile rogue?
It's
you know,
it's the same accent. It's called it's the same thing, and I think that's why they put it in movies because like, oh, that's how people talk on plays, so that's how we should talk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Oh, speaking of Shakespeare, there's this viral tweet that was like, I can't believe Julius Caesar's last words were "et tu, Brute." That's so poetic. I'm like, well, that wasn't his last words. That's what Shakespeare wrote that, right? Right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's poetic, almost as if a fucking poet wrote it. You
Yeah,
idiots.
so funny, dude.
Well, that's funny. In general, like famous people's last words, sometimes they sound really like, oh, what I think it really is just if you had somebody around you who knew that okay, people are going to want to remember this famous person's last words, so let's make it a good one. Or
Right.
somebody, because some people's famous last words are just like, ow.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I bet
And that's
Caesar's
just like,
Caesar's
it was-
last words are probably just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And it's like, oh, they just had like a nurse who didn't actually know that they should try and spice it up a little bit.
yeah.
And they just said their actual last words. Anyone who has actual like nice poetic last words, like somebody that was there.
Your
that-
wife was like, all right, he told me this is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Et toi, Brute, but really he was like, ow, faggot.
Yeah. Ah, fuck, Chuck, did you do that?
Hey, bitch.
oh,
knock
it
it
was
off.
Brutus? Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. What's the
Yes.
feat of strength this month?
Yes, we got a.
What's the fetus? Oh,
on each
Finney's
ep-
got a bow tie.
On each
Yeah, he
episode,
did- he
we
just got
review a
groomed.
feat of strength.
Groomed by Dane Cook.
Yeah.
So last week, this one's actually similar to the one we had last week.
Oh,
'cause
good.
Last week we had a.
Matt's one roll.
I was scrolling through ones right before the episode, and then we started, so I kind of got stuck.
That's okay. I sprung
Sounds
this
like my honeymoon.
I sprung this one on you, bud.
Yeah. So last week we were talking about a guy who runs like a evangelical powerlifting.
Yes.
Now there's actually this is in 2020 a powerful priest who does all these feats of strength. He pulled a fire truck. The name of the article is from the New York Post. Powerful priest can pull a fire truck with his heavenly muscles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this priest is busting stereotypes. Kevin Fast, a Lutheran
Kevin
pastor.
Fast. I like
A
that.
Lutheran pastor with several Guinness World Records under his belt. The 56-year-old clergyman based in Coburg, Canada, has pulled 15 cars all at once, as well as a plane, a train, an automobile,
oh, hell yeah.
a house, and a fire truck. I don't know why they put fire truck after house. They were like getting bigger, and then they went back down for
Probably a
second.
mobile
Yeah,
house.
just
Probably
like
my
penis.
A
Yeah.
mobile home.
a mobile home, so it's not as big as a
Yeah.
fire truck.
He doesn't talk about his physical feats in the pulpit. At the gym, however, admirers credit his supernatural abilities to having a higher power on his side. quote, "My bones are all really thick and dense." He learned after scientists studied his genetics.
Oh, please, dude. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, more like H, G, and H.
Oh,
go.
facts.
Yeah.
There it is.
My body has the ability to release adrenaline on command.
I love that. He prays to God. God, please give me adrenaline.
Adrenochrome.
Yeah.
That's it? The
Yeah,
feat of
there's some
strength?
videos of his stuff that we can maybe put up of him like pulling houses and
I
stuff
don't
like that.
I don't think they care about that. I think the audience hates that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Folks,
fuck him.
What do you think? Should I put that up or should I put up some of the other footage I was talking about? What else was I talking about just before the feat of strength?
Hamas.
Nah, it was something else.
We
I'll
need
put
to
it-
get some
Sure.
feats of
Yeah.
strength from Hamas and Israel.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
It's
Yeah.
going to be like something about
How
like,
many Palestinian children can you lift?
Yeah. It is weird. Like last week in this, like both of the, I did not realize how many like religious people get into powerlifting and then like use that as like part of their thing. The last week, the guy's like he actually travels and tours and talks about on the pulpit his like strength and stuff. This is kind of fun. The guy, you just have a jacked priest randomly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even talk about why he's so jacked.
Right, right. He's not even like, it's God.
Yeah. But when he's in the gym, he's like, this is because of God.
It's God,
that's
bitch.
right.
It's God.
I'll tell you a
Yeah.
secret. It's God.
Also, so many of the things they're describing are just like things you could learn if you work out, like release adrenaline on command. It's like he has a good mind-muscle connection because he works out a lot.
Right, right.
It's not really anything
Right.
supernatural.
There's no divine, yeah.
He's just autistic, so he's like he just
There's
like
so
yeah.
many powerlifters in the world. He's just another one of them, and he's like, oh no, but this one's only strong because of God. The
Right.
other ones, they're strong because of steroids.
Yeah. Can I plug stuff?
Absolutely, now's the time, baby.
What about Rob? Also, next two Fridays on the 15th, I'll be doing a set before Jeremiah Watkins at Rooster T. Feathers. So come on out
yeah.
for that,
Nice.
everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm also judging New York Comedy Club roast battle next on Thursday the 9th, and I'm judging roast battle at Cobb's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So
Nice.
and I have some city spots in San Francisco. So come on out to the. So follow me on Instagram to find all those. So a bunch of fun shows coming up,
Yeah.
guys.
And you'll probably be judging Fight Club again soon.
Well, we don't have to talk about that.
Seems like you got your stars all lined up. So
Yeah.
The stars are just like this. And also, if there's any friends of Joe's and I's who are in San Francisco want to book me, please, because
Yeah.
I'll be in town for a few
Can't wait
weeks.
for Jeremiah Watkins to get Me Too'd now. Now that Robbie's working with
I
him.
know.
hell yeah, dude. Well, fuck yeah, that's it. Stick around for the Patreon episode. A comedian said the N-word on Comedy Fight Club.
Wow.
The New York scene is torn asunder. Matt Maron's finally going to weigh in. Does he blame the comedian? Does he blame the whistleblower? Find out on the Patreon episode. And whatever you do, if you do watch it, don't clip what Matt says and repost it, giving his full unadulterated opinion. That could be very controversial, and it could really come back to haunt him. But again, stick around for the Patreon. Hear what Matt Maron says. Does he approve of us saying the N-word or not? Does he like black people or not? There's only one way to find out. Stay tuned. It's going to get dark.